Bonsoir. Good evening. Kway kway. Kway kway, that would be more Algonquin and actually the Wendat say it like that. And Ani. I went to the powwow on the weekend. So I picked that up with the powwow on Christian Island. I was there with the Cultural Alliance. We've got a booth and promoting. Actually, Cultural Alliance, it brings together the 5 communities. So Post Lake First Nations, Tiny Township, Tay Township, Penetang, and Midland. And we help them promote their different events. So it's kind of uniting the communities. And God knows we need unity these days. So tonight, because 3 of you were here last week, but a lot of you weren't. So some of the stuff I'm going to do, you guys might find it a little bit repetitive, not much though. But I really want to bring back the Jim Croce song so that they could, somebody phoning us? Is that God? Is that God phoning us again? Well, we started calling Glenn God because last week he was stuck in the booth because of the COVID thing. So, and when he talks from up there, it sounds like God. like God, yeah. But I've got some other stuff. You're going to want to be a little bit open-minded though, because you went to Africa, so there you go. You'll be. I've got Angelique Kidjo. She's an African singer from Benin. So she sings obviously in African, which is what I picked for the song. But she sings in French and in English as well. Though I did bring her the CD. These are CDs. Everybody knows that. And they say they're coming back. So Shango. It has the translation, so I'll be able to read it to you. I didn't have a way of printing it, so I'll be able to read it to you. Actually, I think I'll do it before we run the song, so you've got an idea of what it means.
C'est pas important ce que je veux. It's not important what I'm going to say, but I have to say it. It's been 2 times in 2 weeks that my car is being. Some thief go in my car because I don't lock my doors at night, and because in Quebec I never lock my doors.
And what, you got robbed?
Yeah, and why I say that is because I have a lot of CD. I still use CD, and they never.
They didn't even take them. That's funny. That's really funny. They didn't even take my CDs. There, I'll bring them around. This is so besides Angelique, which is Angelique Kidjo, is she was known as the Queen of Funk in Africa, and she's played like with all kinds of people. Actually, Santana, she played with Santana, and he put one of her songs on one of his albums. So this is pop music. This is fairly recent. Dan, the director here, he's the one who he said, well, maybe you might want to put in a few, something new, something young. So I went and found. He gave me a few options, and I thought this one was kind of cool. Does anybody know Lord?
Yeah.
Okay, so the Royals. Do you ever hear this? So you guys know it. Okay. And I put the text because on the video there's the text that comes up. But even for those of you who know it, this might help, because I was reading some of the text and I'm going, what does that mean? But and obviously it's very British because she's speaking about the royals, so it could be royals from anywhere. But I had the impression it was British. She doesn't really have an accent when she sings, so it's hard to tell. So we'll get to that, but. Let's start with, and I'm going to bring back the Jim Croce song because it's in there, and I think I just want to get your impression for those of you who weren't there last week, and so there we go. So we're ready to go. We're gonna. Oh no! While you're setting up, did I bring my glasses? Yeah, I did. Did I bring my glasses? Okay, according to the research I did, and I always do research. Sometimes it's hard to find stuff, especially on like an African singer. It's not obvious. But what it did say is Shango is the name of the song. It's a thunder god in African folklore. It's a thunder god. The video is not like that. You'll see. The video is fairly modern, but so Shango, that's the god. So she sings that in the refrain, chorus. Thank you. And then Shango vous salue. So, and when we get into the verses, je m'appelle Shango. So in the song, she takes the personnage, the character of this god. Maybe I better English. My name is Shango. I'll do it in English. I came to light a long time ago. Don't you know I'm the thunder? I use the lightning to strike the burglar. Anyway, my name is Shango. I came to light a long time ago. You should do your prayer. I carry a double axe to threaten the liar. So obviously there's a real emphasis on people who do bad things, and Shango doesn't like that. And then that's it. Wafakinio. It doesn't really say what that means. But that's what it is. Je vous salue. Yeah. So yeah, we're ready to go. So there you go, Angelique Kidjo. Like I said, I would have thought that because of the god of thunder or the thing there in the folklore, that there'd be lightning and thunder. But there was a lot of shots of the sky, and obviously my African music is really, it drives, the drum really drives a lot of, she uses a lot of, not just modern instruments, but she puts in a lot of traditional African instruments. And if you listen to the drumming there, percussion, oui!
I did like it. If I have to have a guess on the year of that song, I'd say 98 or 99. The video makes me think of Ray of Light by Madonna.
Okay, it was 96.
Oh.
Yeah. Now you're close.
She inspired
yeah, you're close.
The guitar has something funk.
Oh yeah, you bet.
And and you have a riff of like oriental thing. I don't know. It reminds me of India. So many layers. Very good pop song.
Yeah, she dabbles in and she travels a lot. So her influences don't just come from Africa. They're a little all over the place.
The singing was African, but it's more the production was maybe more European?
Yeah, European. Oh yeah, for sure. She does a lot of her studio work in New York, Los Angeles, and places like that there. But yeah, no, there's those are the kind of albums I listen to when I'm on the road because it keeps you awake. It keeps you awake, that's for sure. D'autres commentaires? No. No, well, no, it's not everybody's cup of tea. But that's not. She doesn't do just stuff like that. She's got stuff that's a lot more mellow.
I'm just trying to remind myself of the kind of music I experienced in North Africa when I spent 2 months whole North Morocco, right back up to Algeria, and
yeah,
this is too modern.
Yeah, this is modern. Oh yeah.
Like the greatest music in Africa that I heard was local.
Yeah, and
at night.
And drums.
They come alive at night.
Yeah.
And they start playing maybe at 7 o'clock and they don't stop till midnight.
Mostly drum?
Mostly drums.
Yeah.
A lot of
And a lot of dance.
dance and singing.
Yeah.
You have to experience
Yeah.
it to believe it.
Yeah.
How beautiful it is.
I had the luck, it just kind of happened, to tour with some people from a group called Le Groupe des Arts Bassins, who were from the Ivory Coast. And I learned a lot of stuff from them. That's where I would have never discovered her if it wasn't for them. But if you want to discover something from her that's a little bit more mellow, look up Le Monde comme un bébé. It's a duet that she does with somebody. Mais Le Monde comme un bébé, it's the world, treating the world as a baby. And it's just a short song, really acoustic, but really nice. And for those who weren't there, we're not going to have a chance to go into this. Note the name Joanne Shenandoah. Shenandoah. It's S-H-E, hang on, I want to make sure I get that. S-H-E-N-A-N-D-O-A-H. She's by Haudenosaunee, that's Iroquois. Oneida, I think one of her parents is Oneida, the other one's Onondaga, but those are both Iroquois nations. We played a song from her last week, I Am Your Friend. That's one really cool one, but she's got all kinds. The whole album, it's called Orenda. That's an amazing album. There's herself and there's another guy, Lawrence Laughing, who's like a guest star on that album. And you might want to check him out because it's really, it's nice music. And she's got an amazing voice. She was very sick and passed away in 2019 or 2021, somewhere in there. But Grammy Awards and all the whole. Okay, we're going to dip back into. You should have Le Petit Prince. Le Petit Prince, and I'll take that. So, for those, well, for everybody actually, did you guys know Le Petit Prince? In English, it's been translated into. God, they say after the Bible, that's the next most printed book in the world. In English, it's the Little Prince. So if you and this song is loosely based on the character Le Petit Prince. It's a French group called Le Trio. So,
I know that they're very good reggae style.
Oh yeah.
I like them.
Yeah. And I'll explain it after I'm done. Yeah. So, is God still there? Oh yeah. Okay, we're good to go. As long as He's there. Petit prince dans la tête, découvre un jour notre planète. Les hommes, la terre et l'ennui, les enfants, la guerre et la vie. De raconter d'abord la vie, les couchers de soleil ici, les forêts au-delà des dunes et les marées de pleine lune. Raconter l'histoire de la terre, des secondes dans le millénaire, des hommes et des femmes qui s'aiment, mélangent l'amour à la haine. L'amour à la haine. Petit prince ne comprend pas. Où va le monde et puis pourquoi? Les hommes ont fermé leur maison à ceux qui vivent sous les cartons. Petit prince, te raconter l'humanité, la longue marche des exilés, comme des fourmis sous le soleil, des milliers d'oiseaux dans le ciel, te raconter les océans qui font chavirer les migrants, comme les hommes sur la terre qui passent de la paix à la guerre. De la paix à la guerre. Petit prince, petit bout d'ailleurs, regarde les hommes avec son cœur. Glisse une larme sur sa joue. Pourquoi sont-ils devenus si fous, petit prince? Te raconter les fusils, les bruits des snipers dans la nuit, le cri des enfants orphelins, la peur au ventre jusqu'à demain. Te raconter la violence, la soif de sang, la vengeance, pendant qu'on prie quelques idoles, des prières qui s'envolent. Au nom de Dieu, au nom d'Allah, toi qu'elle qui n'existe pas, au nom d'une récit ou d'un homme, au nom de la mort qui résonne. La mort qui résonne. Petit prince, si belle la terre, mais les hommes n'ont pas su faire mieux. On ne voit bien qu'avec le cœur, l'essentiel échappe à nos yeux. Échappe à nos yeux. Échappe à nos yeux. L'essentiel échappe à nos yeux. Petit prince. Yeah. Merci. Yeah. Cool. So, before we get into the discussion, just to bring you up to speed on so the Petit Prince is the Little Prince, and so Petit Prince, the first line, dans la tête, so he's in his head, découvre un jour notre planète. So the story in the book is this little prince that comes down from the sky. He's on a planet by himself, and he comes down to Earth, and he ends up in a desert. And this aviator has trouble with one of his engines, and ends up in the desert, and meets this little prince. So, just to put you a little bit into the context of where this comes from. Les hommes, la terre et l'ennui. So men, earth, and l'ennui, loneliness. Okay? Les enfants, la guerre et la vie. So children, war, and life. Te raconter d'abord la vie, les couchers de soleil ici. So telling you the story of life, and les couchers de soleil is when the sun goes down. Les forêts au-delà des dunes et les marchés de pleine lune. Et les marées de pleine lune. So les forêts, that's forest, beyond the dunes. So beyond the desert. Et les marées de pleine lune. So while full moon, there's the tide. Yeah, so the tide. coming in. Raconter l'histoire de la Terre, so telling the story of the earth. Seconds in a millennium, un millénaire. Des hommes et des femmes qui s'aiment, so men and women that like or love each other, mais mélangent l'amour à la haine. So they mix hate and love. Okay? Petit Prince ne comprend pas. The Little Prince, he doesn't understand. Où va la vie, où va le monde et puis pourquoi? Where are people going and why? You know, the rush of Les hommes ont fermé leur maison. So men have closed up their houses to people who live in cardboard, sous les cartons. So people who live on the street, in other words. T'as raconté l'humanité, la longue marche des exilés. So telling you the story of humanity and the exiled. And then in the next line, it's, you know, how people are, they're getting away from their countries because of war or whatever. In fact, like des fourmis, that's ants, sous le soleil, under the sun, des milliers d'oiseaux dans le ciel, in fact, millions of birds in the sky. Te raconter les océans, so telling you the story of the oceans, qui font chavirer les migrants, so that flip the boats of the migrants who are trying to get away from. And then that's where they go into, comme les hommes sur la terre, the men on earth, qui passent de la paix à la guerre, so they who go from war, from peace to war, and back again. And, the next one, Petit Prince, Petit bout d'ailleurs. So, Little Prince from somewhere else. Okay? D'ailleurs. Regarde les hommes avec son cœur. He looks at people with his heart. Okay? Il glisse une larme sur sa joue. So, une larme, a tear from his eyes. Pourquoi sont-ils devenus si fous? The Little Prince is asking, why are people so crazy? You know, because he's from another planet. That's what you kind. Holy jeez, the wolf is calling. Oh no, well, he's gonna have to wait. The wolf is my son in this case. Te raconter les fusils, les bruits des snipers dans la nuit. So telling the story of guns and snipers, the sound of snipers in the night. Le cri des enfants orphelins, so the cry of orphan children. La peur au ventre jusqu'à demain, so they're fearful because they're in the middle of wars. Okay? Te raconter la violence, so telling the story of violence. La soif de sang, la vengeance. La soif, thirst for blood and vengeance. Okay? Pendant qu'on prie quelques idoles, while we pray to idols, des milliers de prières qui s'envolent, prayers that are just flying off into nowhere. Okay? Au nom de Dieu, au nom d'Allah. So in the name of God, in the name of Allah. And what they say here is, toi qui sais qu'il n'existe pas. So he's saying, you that know that they don't exist. I put, because in the version that I sang, because I've done workshops in schools, I changed that to peut-être qu'ils n'existent pas. Maybe they don't exist. Who knows, you know? So I think it's pretty presumptuous to say that what they're saying anyway. Au nom d'un récit ou d'un homme, au nom de la mort qui résonne. So in the name of un récit, a story, okay? So they're probably talking about the Bible or the Quran here, okay? And then, au nom d'Allah, qui n'existe pas, d'un récit ou d'un homme, a man, I interpret it as probably Jesus, or in the Muslim faith, it would be Muhammad, depending on whose religion you're following. Au nom de la mort qui résonne, so in the name of death, because if you look at it, a lot of wars are caused by religious things. La mort qui résonne is death that's resonating. And then it comes back to the Little Prince. Le petit prince si belle la terre. So it's so beautiful, the earth. Mais les hommes n'ont pas su faire mieux. Men don't know how to do better for the earth and for themselves, amongst themselves. On ne voit bien qu'avec le cœur. The only way we really see is when we use our heart. L'essentiel échappe à nos yeux. The essential, you don't see it with your eyes. You see it with your heart. And that sentence there is literally taken from the book. He says that at one point in the book. L'essentiel, it's not exactly like that, but that's what he says. The little prince says, yeah, but the essential, you only see it with your heart. You don't see it with your eyes. So that gives you an idea of what that song is. It's very, very, that's a real protest song, a real socially.
When would this have been
Written, Le Petit Prince, when I was at the radio station, I think that had come out. So it'd probably be in 2000 something.
2005.
So it's recent.
Yeah, fairly recent. Oh yeah, this
The
song.
book is old.
The book dates back. Saint Antoine d'Exupéry, he was actually an aviator, the guy who wrote it, and he would have written that back in the 40s, I think. Yeah, because he was actually in the Second World War, so it would have been sometime probably after the war. But if you Hubert will find that for us, eh? Absolutely. Any comments?
It's like that song last week. It's as pertinent today as it was when it
Yeah.
was written.
Yeah, well, I'll get to that in a minute. Actually, yep, that's an excellent idea. I'll go straight to the next one. Because last week it's called Which Way Are You?
43.
En 43 que ça a été écrit, mais la chanson.
Oh,
So in 43, the book was written in 43, and if you want to look it up, like I said, it's been translated in 50, 60 languages. And it's just a little book like this with images in it. Some people say it's a kid's book, but I've read it at different periods in my life when I was younger and now, and you get different meanings from it whenever you read it, depending on where you are and which stage in life you are. But it's an amazing book. It's really easy to read. Sometimes there's just a few sentences, sometimes it's a paragraph, and then there's the painting. The images of the little prince and the aviator and stuff like that. Okay, l'autre chanson, it should be in last week's Which Way Are You Going? Maybe I'll put these on. Make sure. And just, for those of you who were there last week, I'm going to sing it a little bit higher than I did last week. so it won't be exactly the same.
2016, the song.
When was it? 2016. Oh, well, see, it's not that old. The book, though, 1943, that's...
Do you have any of the pages from last week?
They should be underneath I had put the song that we wrote together first, and then that one, yeah. Here we go. Which way are you going? Which side will you be on? Will you stand and watch while all the seeds of hate are sown? Will you stand with those who say, let his will be done? One hand on the Bible, one hand on the gun. One hand on the Bible, one hand on the gun. Which way are you looking? Is it hard to see? Do you say what's wrong for him is not wrong for me? You walk the streets of righteousness, but you refuse to understand. say you love the baby, then you crucify the man. You say you love the baby, and then you crucify the man. Every day things are changing, words once honored turn to lies. People wondering, can you blame them? Too late to run and too far to hide. Now you turn your back on all the things that you used to preach. Now it's let him live in freedom if he lives like me. The lives change, confusion reigns. What have you become? Your olive branches turn to spears when your flowers turn to guns. Your olive branches turn to spears when your flowers turn to guns. Yeah, so there we go. Do any of you know who Jim Croce is at all, or not? Bad Leroy Brown? Yeah, okay. Most people know that one. But not many people know this one. And actually, we were saying that last week. Mike said, I've heard lots of Jim Croce, but I've never heard that one. Because usually songs that are fairly politically charged don't exactly make hits. And it's not because they're not good songs. It's not because, it's just that record companies, run the show. Less now because, there's more independence. You can have a career online and you can sing just about anything. And if you got a following, it doesn't really matter whether you signed with a record company or not. Comments?
For me, it's like there's so many links with what's going on in the States in terms of abortion rights. Like I think what's happening in the States.
Oh, right now.
The right to abortion.
Yeah.
To me, this is like it speaks directly to that.
And this would have been written in. Well, hey, let's look it up. You buy it. Check out Which Way Are You Going, Jim Croce, just to see what year it was written. I'm kind of curious myself, but his heyday was in the late '60s, early '70s. He died fairly young, so he didn't do a whole bunch of albums, but the albums he did put out were.
The abortion issue's been going on for 50 years.
Wow, yeah. And so was the gun thing's been going on since the Wild Wild West, the packing the six-pack in, like, back then, now they can still carry a gun. Usually it's concealed weapon, right? In not everywhere, but kind of makes you think. So, how much time have we got? Oh yeah, okay. We'll have time for to get to the Royals before we. Again, this.
Same comment. Songs like this are dark, negative, and dark, so they don't make the hit parade.
Not as much.
Not as much.
Not as much.
But boy, do they give
Yeah.
a message.
Yeah.
The message is clear.
One maybe that would go against the grain of that would be Hallelujah from Leonard Cohen. That's a fairly dark song.
But it's so well done.
Oh yeah, of course, and he's got such a haunting voice. But really, I bet you when it came out, it wasn't as popular as it became after.
Who hasn't done Hallelujah?
God. And one really good version is
75.
what?
75, the Jim Croce.
Yeah.
But his Alec is
1975. Yeah, so 75. It shows you how little we've evolved since 75. Coming back to Hallelujah, what's her name? She's a Canadian country singer. Katie Lang did an awesome, at the Olympics, she did an amazing job. I've never heard any other version that even touches that one. like the original is already there, but she brought it. She brought it. Oh God, yeah. Well, we'll wait for you. No, we'll wait. We'll wait for you. We're gonna have to get set up anyway. So we're ready. We're ready for the next one. So that's Royal, Lord.
I didn't know this song, Michel, when you asked me today.
You did?
Yeah, I do know this.
Oh, so you do know
I
this?
just didn't recognize the title or the
Oh,
name of the band.
okay. Obviously, it's very pop. The video is kind of dark. Kind of dark. I don't know how much it has to do with what's here, but I've never seen a diamond in the flesh. Obviously, that's a metaphor.
I think she's saying she's never seen a real diamond, right? Because I cut my teeth on wedding rings in the movies, so I've only seen diamonds in the movies. I've never seen a real one.
Yeah, all right.
They're talking that where they come from.
Yeah, and I think that's what
Yeah.
the video reflects, where it's very
They come
bare
from-
and
yeah.
very, like, there's no
They come from
luxurious
poverty.
things in their lives.
Yeah, well, especially that, and I'm not proud of my address, so that means she probably comes from a poor part of town. No postcode, and there's some pretty cool metaphors, that's for sure. That's what, see, it says, but every song's like gold teeth, gray goose, tripping in the bathroom. If anybody can give me an interpretation to that, I couldn't find one. I couldn't find one. Bloodstained ball gowns, trashing on the hotel rooms. Yeah, go for it.
I think tripping in the bathroom is just like being on drugs and actually like tripping in the bathroom.
Oh, okay.
Talking about
Whatever they want, because
All right.
Yes.
Okay.
living
they're rich. I don't know
through
what Grey Goose is.
Oh, Grey Goose is a very expensive vodka.
Is it?
Yeah, it's about living the high life, and
Yeah,
they say
so
we
like
don't care
Just do
in
whatever
our
People have
dreams.
gold
Okay,
teeth,
yeah.
They have
Yeah, okay.
Grey Goose, ball gowns.
Yeah, and we're driving Cadillacs in our dreams.
So yeah, because they're saying all the other songs are about these really cool, rich things, but we're driving Cadillacs
Yeah, we're
in our dreams.
in our dreams, yeah. Crystal Maybach, diamonds on your timepiece. Okay, that's but crystal, yeah, it's rich stuff. What's Maybach? Anybody? No? Okay, must be something, what's that?
It's a car like Maybach, Mercedes, or whatever.
It's a what?
Type of-
It's a car. Oh, okay.
Norm would
looking at-
Yeah, because he's a big car buff. Jet planes, obviously, islands, because they've all got private jets and on and on. Tigers on a gold leash. Hey,
You've got actors and famous people who had tigers.
Oh, yeah.
Pets, like, so this is what they're kind of not making fun of, but saying like, that's not even close to our world.
yeah, you bet. Uh-huh. We aren't caught up in love affairs, yeah, no doubt. And we'll never be royals. So royals, obviously, it's to say, yeah, and it's not just, I think they don't mean just literally royals, but just people with a lot of money. Oh, no. And you know, 12th concession. But don't you have a tennis court?
Yes, I do.
Because at the end, you notice that the kid standing there on the outside of the fence, looking into the tennis court. So
Okay, I take it back.
yeah.
I have to explain it in French. I'm sorry, it's so hard in English. Mais c'est typique de la génération actuelle, des milléniaux, cet univers-là, un peu comme Billie Eilish, Lana Del Rey, Miley Cyrus un peu, c'est comme un univers désabusé. C'est des jeunes qui viennent de la société de consommation tellement là, que c'est comme si c'est pas nous autres. Puis il y a un côté comme engourdi dans ces chansons. C'est une pop 2010 là, de toute évidence. Je me vois comme ça. J'haïs pas ça. Mais c'est pas mon défaut de la génération, mais j'haïs pas ça. C'est
Ouais.
c'est comme un peu le côté hippie 2000. C'est ça. C'est comme la contre-culture des années 2010.
Okay, yeah. So,
Un rejet de la consommation.
can anybody,
I can try. It's like the hippie thing of the 2010s because, like Billie Eilish, Miley Cyrus, they are none of the high life. So they born in it, but they don't want it.
yeah, yeah.
I see that. It's mine.
Yeah, some of them in that generation take advantage of the fact that they're born into privilege. And, you know, so,
A lot of them were like movie stars that like children TV stars who were kind of are Nickelodeon. It's literally their whole life.
yeah, so all they've known is privilege and money and going in private jets and the rest of it. So there, I think I've done the I want to save a little bit of time at the very end for one last song that we're going to put up on the, because I thought it would be a good way to end. Anyway, so if you want to, I know, Randy, you sent me something. You sent me a few things that I haven't really had a chance to look into. But for those of you who are fairly far along and you're just keep going and maybe explore something else. In the meantime, I'm going to go set up my computer and I'll check out the most recent one. You sent me something with the North. Yeah, that one. You've got a few of them. But what I was going to say is I'm not going to have time to look at all of them, but I'll probably have time to look at that one tonight. And then I'll give you my comments, and you can do with what you want. Because you could pick any one of the ones you sent me, and it would basically, I would be able to work with that as far as songwriting goes. And you've already got your music, and you're on your way. Fairly.
I'll send it to you when I'm done.
Oh, so you're almost there.
Yeah.
Okay. And keep working at it. That's the way you looked at me. Man, like I said, you're an amazing storyteller.
I tried to get help from Jill and she stood me up. So I don't know.
Well, you know what?
Expect something very mediocre, right?
Yeah, mediocre.
Yeah.
Just mediocre.
But like I said, just
Oh, I know what you said.
yeah, you like last week.
Standard.
Last week you told us a story that you could make into a song. You just have to.
I've got lots of stories.
Well-
But it's the actual making it right. When I look at all these metaphors and all.
Oh, well, you don't have to.
Together,
Yeah.
this is what I can't digest.
You
I
did-
can't put everything in metaphor.
No, well, you don't have to. That you don't have to. You don't have to. No, not really. Some writers write very literally, and it's very well done. Who's one? What's his name? Tom Waits. He's one of them. He writes literally. Some of his songs don't rhyme at all, and some of them have absolutely no metaphors. And he's just. I remember one of his songs. It's just like a day in the life, not like the Beatles version, but his day in the life. And if you really, you've got a tape recorder on there? Do you know how to use it? Because I was going to say, all you have to do is record yourself telling one of your stories, and then retranscript it and make it into verses. They don't have to rhyme, and there doesn't have to be metaphors. You can break all the rules. That's what's beautiful about songs. Yeah, I'll go set up in the hallway. Toi, t'as dit que tu en as peut-être une coupe.
Non, 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 non. J'espère en faire 2. J'ai
OK.
pas fini une encore.
Mais quand tu en as 2,
Je t'envoie ça.
ouais, puis après ça, moi, je peux te donner des commentaires puis te dire, well, maybe you should go more with this one or more with that one. So, we're good? Right, okay. Oh, I was supposed to get you guys to do an evaluation. Shoot. I'll send it to you. I was supposed to get.
25%.
Yeah. I'll talk to Dan. I think Dan had some questions already in a form. So, yeah, because this is government stuff that we have to send in, so I'll have to. Yeah, me too. Me too. I love government stuff. Okay, I gotta make sure I can put this on before I go anywhere. I think we're all right. Yeah. Okay. Okay. We're good to go.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're going to set me up for. Oh, okay. Hang on. I know some of you had I'll get back to you on the, I think you sent me 3 or 4. So I'll get back to you on each one and just comments and stuff, and then you can go from whatever. And the same thing for everybody else. When you've got something you're satisfied with, you send it to me. Or if you need some kind of guidance, or you know, you send me an email. And this week I'll be a little bit busy, and this weekend too. But by next week, I should be a little bit more available to be able to look at stuff and start sending you my feedback. Before we end, it's like I said, I'm going to talk to Dan. There's probably going to be an evaluation. So I think he's already got some questions in mind. I know I had a few questions that I wouldn't mind asking to see about your reactions on. It's been fun. I've enjoyed myself immensely. I don't know about you guys, but I've had a lot of fun doing this. I do mostly schools, so and I've done a few adult, but in this kind of an environment and with such a varied group, everybody's got their own personality. For me, it was fun. It was. So I hope you guys had as much fun as I did. Before we leave, I've got one last song.
It's the last time we see each other.
That we see each other, but as a group, until. And did you guys all get the email I sent you this week that says when the show is going to be at the end of August?
Oui.
Okay. It was. I had it. It's the 28th. You should have gotten an email, and at the end, I give you some encouraging, a little bit of encouragement. Check it out. If you don't have an email that has the actual date of the Sunday, the 28th, that means you didn't get it, but you should have, because I sent it to everybody.
I want to say that it's been fun for me too. I talk a lot, and thank you for your patience, everyone. And what is nice about this thing is we are very different people from different age, but with creation like that, it's like we all at the same age. And it was hard for everyone, and those 2 guys is not there, but they were very good, but we never felt judged or something. It was very, like, express yourself. It was open to everything. I like it very much.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, no. Anybody else want to share before we hit the last song?
Just repeat what I said before. The amount of pleasure you derive from life is luck of who you get to meet. We've gotten to meet a lot of interesting people, including yourself, but I knew a little bit about you. And it's actually been a pleasure for me to.
Yeah, super. But we'll be getting, like, you know, we'll be talking, obviously, to get the songs done and then the performance. There might be what Dan was telling me at first was there might be 2 performances, one in the afternoon for like the families and stuff, and then one for the general public in the evening. But I'll come back to you when I've got more details about that. Okay? Yeah.
So, this is the last like workshop session?
Yeah, this is the last workshop where we're working together. Now it's pretty well you guys have the ball. You go with it where you're going to go, and then once you've got something, you send it to me. You got my email, so you send it to me, and then I'll give you my comments, and you do with them what you want.
So we might have to tweak it once we send it to you and stuff?
Sorry?
Like, we might have to do some tweaking and things like that?
Yeah, well, maybe, like, when you send it to me, I'll give you suggestions, and then it's up to you what you want to do with them.
Are we doing like you said, an afternoon performance?
Yeah, that's at the end of August.
In the evening?
Yeah, yeah, there's probably gonna be an evening, there might be a matinee as well. Once I have more details, I'll let you guys know. But it's definitely the Sunday, the 28th. Pardon?
Do we really think there would be enough people who would want to come to a matinee and then, I'm just being honest.
No, because the matinee, I think, when Dan was talking about that, he was thinking more of having something more for the families in the afternoon. You know, like you invite your family and friends and whatever. So it would be more of a get together for us and for your families to see what came out of these workshops. And then the evening performance, if I understood him correctly, is going to be open to the public. Yeah.
Is it gonna be like, we're gonna have like one song and then we have like a lineup and?
That's what I will be working on that, because some of you are doing your own music, so you're actually going to perform them if you want to. I know I'm not a keyboard player, so it'd probably be Louis if you came up with a keyboard song but didn't want to perform it, then I'd have to talk to Louis about that. I can sing, but keyboard isn't my strong point. Guitar, la guitar. But if you have any other questions, you've got my emails.